There is a con happening right now. Not in 1920, not in Victorian London, not in a rented building full of actors in Chicago. Right now, today, in a city near you. An elderly woman approaches a stranger on the street. She's holding an envelope. She's confused, a little distressed. She found this envelope. It has cash in it. She doesn't want to keep it all herself. She's thinking of splitting it. A friendly man appears from the other direction. He's helpful. He has an idea. He knows a lawyer who handles found money. But the lawyer requires both parties to show good faith by putting up a deposit just to prove you're trustworthy. You understand? It's just a formality. The stranger who is going about their day hands over their good faith money. The elderly woman and the friendly man thank them warmly and say they'll be right back with the lawyer. But they don't come back. The envelope had no money in it. This con was documented in Spain in 1499. It has not changed meaningfully in 525 years. I'm Johnny Diggs. Let's dig into this. Most of the cons we've covered in this series are specific. One man, one moment, one scheme that rose and fell. The pigeon drop is different. It has no single inventor, no founding case, no one person who figured it out and ran it. It simply appears, fully formed, structurally intact, in the historical record around the turn of the 16th century. The earliest documented versions shows up in a Spanish literary text called La Celestina, written around 1499. The specific variant described a stranger who approaches with found money and requests a good faith deposit is recognizable as the same con being run today. It resurfaces in English literature in the 17th century. It's documented in American newspapers in the 1800s as the purse drop or wallet drop. It appears in police reports from New York, Chicago, San Francisco, all through the 1900s. It adapts. It doesn't disappear. Here's what it has survived. The telephone, the automobile, the credit card, the internet, the smartphone, surveillance cameras, and over a century of consumer protection campaigns. The word con, as in con man, confidence trick, con artist, comes from this, specifically from the confidence required from the victim. The mark is asked to demonstrate their trustworthiness by putting up money. We've been calling schemers con men for 175 years because of the pigeon drop, and the pigeon drop still runs today. That should tell you something. Let me walk through the exact structure, because the genius of this con, and it is genius in a very cold way, is in the specific sequence of events and how each step removes one more layer of the victim's resistance. Step 1. The lure. The first stranger approaches with found money, a wallet, an envelope, a lottery ticket, or a bag. They make clear they want to do the right thing, but they need help thinking it through. This step establishes you as a potential partner, not a victim. You're being recruited, not targeted. Step 2. The accomplice. The second stranger arrives, seemingly by coincidence. They're enthusiastic about the find. They have an idea about how to handle it legitimately. Now, there are 3 of you. Social proof activates. 2 people are treating this situation as real. Your instinct is to collaborate to the group. Step 3. The legitimacy anchor. The second stranger introduces a third party, a lawyer, a banker, a charity, who can handle the found money properly. But protocol requires a good faith deposit, just to verify you're a trustworthy partner. Note, you are not being asked to do anything wrong. You are not gambling. You are not investing. You are being asked to prove you are honest. Step 4. The ask. You contribute your good faith money, cash, because the process requires cash. Step 5. The wrap. Both strangers exit to get to the lawyer, to make a call, to get the paperwork. They're coming right back, but they never come back. From start to finish, on an experienced team, this takes between 8 and 20 minutes. In those 8 to 20 minutes, you went from going about your day to handing cash to two strangers because they convinced you that you were the one proving your own trustworthiness. That reversal, where the victim becomes the one being tested, is the entire architecture. Here's the question I want to spend time on, because it's the question that usually gets answered wrong. The pigeon drop's reputation is that it targets elderly people, or people with diminished judgment, or people who aren't paying attention. That's wrong, and it matters that it's wrong. Before I get into that, if this is your first time on the channel, thank you so much for checking out the video. It would mean the world to our team if you could like the video and subscribe to our channel. It helps us out an absolute ton. Every episode, I pull a new file and take it apart until you understand not just what happened, but what made it possible. That's the whole show. So, the pigeon drop doesn't appeal to greed primarily. That's the key. Most of the cons we've covered in previous episodes, Ponzi, The Wire, even McGregor's Fake Country, were all built on greed. The promise of more money, a return, a deal too good to pass up. The pigeon drop is built on something else entirely. It appeals to empathy. You genuinely want to help a confused elderly woman figure out what to do with found money. It appeals to fairness. You believe you're being asked to participate in a fair distribution of a windfall. It appeals to social proof. Two other people are treating this as a legitimate situation. Your skepticism is the outlier. Now add 3 operating conditions that disable your normal defenses. Time pressure. This needs to happen now. The opportunity is immediate. The found money, the lawyer, the window, all of it is contingent on acting quickly. There is no, let me think about this. Thinking is the enemy of the con. Social pressure. You are now 1-on-2. Two friendly, helpful people are looking at you with warmth. Refusing to participate feels rude, suspicious, unkind. And the third one, role assignment. You have been assigned the role of good person in this story. The elderly woman needs help. You are the one who can provide it. Stepping out of that role, saying no, walking away, asking difficult questions, means becoming a different kind of person, a suspicious person, an unhelpful person. Most people will do quite a lot to avoid becoming the unhelpful person in a story about themselves. FBI financial crime data shows that the median victim of a pigeon drop is not actually elderly. They are working age adults, employed, often college educated. Retired law enforcement officers have been victimized. Financial advisors have been victimized. One document case from the early 2000s involved a bank employee who cashed out their own bank account. The con doesn't target your stupidity. It targets your decency. And that is a much, much harder thing to defend against. The pigeon drop in its classic form, 2 people, a street corner, an envelope, is still running. But it's also mutated, and the mutations are worth knowing. The lottery ticket variant. A stranger approaches with a winning lottery ticket. They can't cash it. Immigration status, an outstanding warrant, some reason they can't walk into a lottery office. They'll split the winnings with you if you can cash it. But to receive the winnings, you need to put up a small amount to cover taxes or processing fees. Same structure, different prop. The emergency variant. A stranger stranded needs gas money, bus fare, money to get home, but they want to do it right. They'll give you their watch as collateral, or a phone, or some object that looks valuable. The object, though, is fake. The story, it's also fake. The emergency is the oldest prop in the world. The digital variant, the romance version though of it. A connection made online. Trust built over weeks or even months. Then a crisis, a medical emergency, a stuck shipment, a business deal that needs a short-term loan. The digital pigeon drop runs longer and extracts even more. But the mechanics, they're identical. The reason none of these go away is simple. Every variant exploits the same human qualities: empathy, social trust, the desire to be seen as a good person. And those qualities aren't bugs to be patched. They're features. They're what make human society function. There is no version of humanity that isn't vulnerable to the pigeon drop. You can be aware of it, know the name, know the structure, and still find yourself mid-scenario before you recognize what's even happening. The moment when you feel yourself wanting to be the helpful person in someone's story, that's the moment to pause. Not because kindness is wrong, but because that impulse is precisely what's being targeted. Every time I close a file, I ask the same question. Why did it work? With the pigeon drop, I want to revise the question. Not why did it work, but why does it still work? Present tense. Decency as exploit. Every con we've covered exploited something. Greed, vanity, wonder, desperation. The pigeon drop exploits decency. Specifically, the desire to be seen as helpful and fair. That's the specific quality being weaponized. And because that quality is genuinely good, because the world is better when people want to help strangers with found money,